everyone, welcome to KindaTV with your friendly neighborhood Natasha. I am in a cab on my way to Fan Expo right now. I am so excited to meet all of you that are going, and for those of you who were not able to make it, I am so sorry. But the good news is that we filmed all of it. We just got ready at the office. Everybody's taking selfies. Everybody's taking selfies. And I'm here with Aaron.
Hi!
Hi! And we're just so stoked to see the trailer as well, and for you to see the trailer. So here we go. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
How many of you guys are stoked about Carmilla season 3? Me too. It's gonna be a tough year. It is the third and final season of Carmilla. I know. I wish it was. We've got Carmilla, Laugh, and Laura hiding out in the Silas University Library. The dean is gloating in her glory. Evil is big on the rhetoric. You know how it is. Laura's disillusioned, fearful. Carmilla and Laugh are finding common ground, which is going to be super interesting. The whole season premieres September 15th, just around the corner, and it's premiering in 3 acts. So on September 15th, you are going to get to watch 17 episodes of Carmilla in a row. Super exciting. I know. Act 2 will premiere on September 29th. And Act 3, the final act of Carmilla, will be October 13th. But it's super cool. You can watch it all on the KindaTV YouTube channel. And before each act, we are going to be doing a live Carmilla pre-show on KindaTV. So be sure to tune into that. The first one is September 15th. Super exciting. And another super exciting premiere today at 5:30 on the KindaTV YouTube channel. We have the world premiere of Carmilla Season 3's trailer. However, because you guys showed up today, you get to see it a half an hour early. Please don't tape it. The whole world is gonna see it in like 20 minutes, so be super chill. This is an exclusive treat for you guys. Are you ready? Guys, without further ado, please help me welcome to the stage Chartrand, Shannon, Kook, Sharon Belle, Nicole, Kaitlyn Alexander, Annie Briggs, Natasha Negovanlis, and Elise Bauman. Thank you guys so much for being here. I am super stoked to be doing this panel again this year. Also, that was the first time I had seen the trailer, and I was like, I'm tearing up. I'm so emotional right now. I can't believe it. If we are emotional about the final season of Carmilla, I can't imagine what it's like for you guys. I read that everybody cried after production wrapped. What can you tell me about finishing off this season?
Oh man, I don't know where to begin. It was like the ending of school. I don't know how to explain. It was really. Spencer and Steph came up to us at the end of the last shot of the season, and Natasha and I were there, and it was kind of just like us in a little huddle, and they were like, do you think that we got it?
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, he asked us, because they were going to offer us another take, and he was like, do you think we're done? And Elise and I just kind of looked at each other and just went, yeah. It's done. And then we both just
all started crying like banshees.
bawling. Yeah, I think Elise and I just held on to each other for like an hour straight. Oh my God, I didn't let go.
Everyone in the audience is going to need to watch the end of the season with a buddy, is what we're learning from this. Yeah.
Yes.
Kaitlyn, you were saying that on your YouTube channel you shot a video where you just like bawled for 3 straight minutes.
Yeah, it was a 3-minute video of me just like crying and being like really grateful because like I was gonna quit acting before I got this role, and Laugh taught me a lot about myself and kind of saved me. So it was like really emotional to say bye to them, and I'm not gonna keep talking because I'm gonna cry.
How many people in here feel that Carmilla saved them in a way a little bit? Yeah, I think you guys have done a pretty amazing thing, so that's awesome. I'm super excited also because BuzzFeed just announced that Enrico Colantoni is going to be joining season 3 as Laura's dad, the Hollis father, which is great because your nickname on the show is like Veronica Mars, and now Veronica Mars' dad is on the show. So what was it like to work with him?
Man, it was, I mean, it's kind of scary and like having a new actor on set, especially if it's a well-oiled machine that's been going for a couple years now, and bringing someone new into that process. And, you know, oftentimes you just meet someone right before you're filming together and that's it. That's all you get. And it's like, hey, hello, nice to meet you. Great, you're my father. But he was nice enough to, I asked him to run lines with me the night before. And he came and just to meet each other. And like we instantly were very connected to each other. And I mean, he's such a talented and such a giving actor. It was awesome to work with him, and also I was just so excited for Laura's dad to be a part of the series this year because it's, you know, you kind of get to like peer into her life a little more, and it was really meaningful to have him as a part of the script this year. Yeah.
I think we're all pretty excited to see a little bit more of Laura's backstory. Yeah? Yeah, totally. I think we're also going to get to dive into Perry's character in a different way this season. Who's excited about that? Obviously, I can't ask too much about that because super spoilers, but Annie, you were telling me that your entrance with Kaitlyn this year is kind of interesting. There's maybe a story there?
Yes. One could say it was indeed interesting. Yeah, my first entrance, that we filmed. So it's not the first entrance technically in the season, but certainly that we filmed. Yeah, it was probably one of the highlights and joys of my career thus far.
We full out ruined a take because we were laughing so hard.
I know you guys are talking about now.
Yeah. I don't want to give too much away, but Kaitlyn's,
it's like I tested my strength,
and I ate lettuce for a week prior to shooting that.
Oh, interesting. My note.
Perhaps we say no more.
My note for that just says butts. So that's interesting. That should be a very interesting shot.
One butt.
Perry's not the only person changing this season. Sharon, your character is coming back a little bit different now. How was it to get to explore that side of things?
Yes. Danny's very different this season. Much more. Jesus, what can I say? She's evil. It was very, very interesting, and actually it took a lot of prep time and a lot of conversations with Spencer to figure out how this transition even works, you know, in this world of vampires, because there's lots of stories and everyone knows how it works in those other universes, but this, you know, Carmilla is different. It's its own universe, and it was just like, it was a lot of work to wrap my head around it, and but I think we settled on something that was pretty darn cool, and yeah, it was just like a lot of fun. Yeah.
And she's super, super fantastic.
Elise, like all your crushes are vampires now on the show. What is up with that? Laura has a type, basically.
I'm off my style a little this year, though. I gotta say, Danny, the brown curly hair.
2 times the leather jackets. We can dig it. Yeah, that's awesome. Nicole, your character is surprise returning after the end of last season. How do you find that your character has changed? How does your relationship with Carmilla change? Yeah, cool. Let's be excited about that. I'm excited about that. Not dead. Great.
Definitely not dead. I think this season Mel's in a position that Mel's never in a position that makes her happy. She's like second to this one for the summer presidency, and then this season she's in kind of a tough situation that's like not easy for her. She's forced to do things she doesn't want to do. So that was fun to play, because it's fun to play angst. And I got to do something this season. I can't tell you what it is, but there's a little new thing that comes along with Carmilla this season that I was really involved in, that I'm excited about, and I hope when it comes out that you like it.
Ooh, interesting. Shannon, Theo betrayed the team. What's up with that? How dare you? First of all, how dare you? Second of all, now that your boss is dead, what can you tell us about how things change for Theo next season?
I don't think anything ever changes with Theo. He just wants to be on top all the time, so, whatever that takes. Sorry. This audience, that was quick. You guys respond to that.
And Aaron, you had a bit of a transition this season too, because you went from playing Will to playing a hundreds of year old vampire that had been trapped in a book for centuries. So that's a challenge, a particular challenge. How did you approach playing that?
Yeah, that was tough. I mean, because JP was like a new guy for me to take on, it was, I don't know, I had to start over, basically start from scratch. And it was interesting because I kind of went into it like, I auditioned for the original role that I played, right? So it was like getting this other role. It's like, oh God, hope I don't mess it up. But I just communicated with Spencer a lot on it, and with the writers as well, just try to chip away at it and really work on it. And I had enough time with the script. I had a good amount of time with it, so just try to go over it as much as I can and just approach it as a completely new character.
And get real good at the accent.
Thanks.
Your other big change for season 3 is that your past 2 seasons you guys shot in a house, and I remember I visited in season 2 and it was pretty close quarters. You guys were all pretty tight in there for the first 2 seasons, but this season, you shot on a real set. The library is like a real set. What can you guys tell me about working with that and what the Silas library is like?
Air conditioning. It's nice.
It's true. I think that's what we were all most excited about, because the first 2 seasons in the house and it just being like everything was so close together and we were all like just sweating so hard. But it was also cool to see the art department build a set in the middle of an empty white room. And it's a magical library, so you can imagine that they had a lot of fun with it, and they did such an amazing job. It looks incredible.
Yeah, there are a lot of really cool lighting rigs this year as well that I was really impressed with. They kind of use old Hollywood tricks, so I really love that, because we don't have crazy special effects, but it's amazing to see what they created, and the library really is a character of its own as well, so I'm excited for everyone to see it.
We are excited too. We are going to get to audience questions. There's just one more second. So how Emily, we're going to just have people raise their hands. So if you raise your hand, Emily's going to come over to you. One more question before we get started, though. BuzzFeed also broke that you guys are going unabashedly queer this season. Maybe even dropping the L word at a certain point, I hear? Yeah. Oh, yeah. What can you tell me about that direction?
Well, this is the first time that we actually say the word lesbian on the show, which I think is really important and really cool, and it's the first time that it's actually discussed. I mean, I think it was neat for season 1 and 2 to sort of have it be about the mystery and to sort of normalize queerness, but I think it's also important to have the discussion about it as well. So that was, it's really great, and it's a show that I'm so proud to work on for a multitude of reasons, but definitely for that reason.
Cool, thank you. All right, if you guys have a question, go ahead and throw your hand up, and Emily is going to come right over to you. I don't have a mic, so. without a microphone, so she's just gonna tap you on the head, I guess. Let's go down the line. What weird skills do we have at this table?
I can blow these weird spit bubbles, but it takes a while to happen. I'm not gonna be able to do it right now.
Oh no.
I don't really got much. I can like pull my hair here and I don't feel it. That's like it. That's like pretty much it. Superpower. That's like a superpower. If I get in a fight, someone pulls my hair by chance, like I'm lucky. I just don't feel it.
I can do the 3-loop tongue thing, but I don't, I mean, it's been seen before, but I just remembered I could do this. Wait, you gotta give me a sec. It takes a minute. You just gotta, wait. It gets better the more I practice.
This panel just got amazing. I play competitive dodgeball.
Like, what weird thing should I share? I'll share the less disgusting one. I can do this for like a length of time, and I've actually done like complete scenes where I'm talking in this voice, which is nice.
I can wiggle my ears.
I like it. You can see it over here. It was great.
I make a mean chili. Secret ingredient is my resentment. For all those that I have to make it for. It's mostly just myself. Oh man. I got nothing. Yoga. True. I can do yoga. I think at one point in my childhood I used to walk on stilts a lot. That's very cool. Yeah.
Elise was doing some really good cartwheels before we came in here.
yeah.
They're really crisp.
We have a video of her doing like 4 of them in a row. She just kept cartwheeling.
It's on Snapchat.
Yeah, that's right. I do a good cartwheel.
Thank you, guys. And thank you for that question. That was delightful. Over here.
I think watching their relationship grow over the seasons is such a great through line throughout the whole 3 seasons, and there's such a different dynamic between season 1 and season 2. And season 1 is sort of about passion and falling in love and realizing that like a person that you didn't think you could fall for is actually the person that you really want to be with. And then season 2 is kind of about what happens when you start seeing things in a person that you're like, oh, I really love you, but I don't know if I like that about you. And then I think a lot of what happened in season 2 is based on, it's really scary sometimes when if it's a romantic relationship or not, if you're in love with someone, if you love someone and then it's not the person that you pictured. And you don't know if that life is, you spend so much time planning what you think your life is going to be like, and then it doesn't look like that all of a sudden, and it's scary, and you don't know what's happening, and then that's where a lot of like anger and resentment comes in. And I think that's kind of like where a lot of their conflict happened in season 2. And I think season 3 is about finding that third thing, which is about accepting the person and knowing that it takes work to be in a relationship, and knowing that there's like a deeper level of love past surface things, with this great music behind me going on the whole time.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite things has been the same for every season, is just their ability to learn from each other constantly and to start to listen to one another. This is so dramatic. And I think it was, without giving too much away, I think season 3 is very much about what a relationship is and what it can be and how it doesn't have to subscribe to one particular thing, how there is no definition of what girlfriend and girlfriend should be. You know, there's so many different dynamics and different kinds of relationships and yeah, I don't know. I think it's
There's good stuff in store for season 3.
I wanted to ask Kaitlyn too, like how hard is Laugh gonna flip out when they find out about Perry? Like, yeah, straight up.
Straight up?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, season 2, you saw, like, their only emotional moments were to do with Perry. And, like, you know, shit gets real. And badass. Like, really badass. So, I can't tell you specifics, but it's good.
Another audience question. Now this next question has to be amazing. If you couldn't hear, she was asking for Perry's possession in season 2. Did it happen early on, or was it a gradual thing? How did that work, and how did you approach playing that? Also, I'm curious.
Yeah, good question. Me too. No, but in terms of when the possession took place, technically that would have been at the very end of season 1, when they were in the pit and they destroyed the Dean. So the Dean jumped ship into Perry at that point. And so in terms of season 2, I kind of approached it as there was still a lot of Perry for the most part, I would say, up until the very end of season 2. We saw a lot of Perry, although Perry was sort of dealing with this other entity lurking inside herself and not really understanding what that was or what was going on with her, just being sort of subconsciously aware of this other thing happening. But then, yeah, at the end of season 2, it comes full-blown through, and you'll see what happens in season 3.
Was it fun to get to kind of be evil a little bit?
Oh, yes. Yeah, as an actor, getting to do these kind of pseudo double roles, I mean, my God, it's such a gift. There's nothing better. I love it. And the writers on this were amazing in terms of really giving me different voices to work with. So my job was like half built in for me. And yeah, it's really exciting. It's fun.
I'm curious too, Nicole, about Mel and how you sort of, how you sort of approach playing a character whose morals are maybe a little bit more ambiguous or a little gray.
I think they might be ambiguous to you, but they're not ambiguous to Mel.
Interesting.
Like, I feel like Mel really stands for what she believes in, and if you take any imaginary situation and think, what would Mel do in that situation? I think she would do whatever is most closely aligned with her moral code, which encompasses the Summers code and sort of a sort of fairly strict style of feminism. Mm-hmm. I think she's pretty consistent along those lines, and I see her as somebody who's really principled, and has a really strong sense of injustice and a strong sense of it being partly her job to try to right the injustices that she sees going on around her. So I think that Mel's morals are not ambiguous. I can see how they would look ambiguous to a viewer, but I think if you imagine in any situation what Mel would do, you would always guess correctly.
I now just want a bracelet that says, "What would Mel do?"
Yes. I love her relationship with Danny too. I think that your relationship is super interesting. This sort of competitiveness between the two of you. How does that develop this season?
In season 3?
Yeah.
How does it develop? How does it develop in season 3? Well, they're kind of on their own paths in season 3. Mm-hmm. They are kind of just doing their own thing.
Danny does some very bad things, and Mel doesn't like it. I'll say that. That's what the ambiguity is over here. That's what's happening.
Interesting.
Hey, whoa. Hey, click that subscribe button unless you want to be KO. Whoa.